Hello my fellow traders and welcome here to Viking FX, where I am trying to show you how I trade. If I lose, if I win, I'm trying to show you how I control my risk and all of the sort. So what I'm going to do today is I'm going to show you the trades I've already closed today. I'm going to show you two trades I'm already in. And if you weren't aware of it, I am on my Twitter. Let me just find it for you. Here it is over, you can find me at @MarketTimerH8. I am trying to document the trades I'm taking these days. I cannot guarantee you that I get all of them in there, but I'm trying to show you where I get in, when I get out, and so on. I'm trying to give you a picture of if I make money or lose money. So that is kind of a way to show you live when I'm actually taking the trades. Don't count it as a signal service or anything like that. This is simply just to show you or give you a kind of an overview of how I trade. Now, first of all, this video, as always, is brought to you by NSB, a fantastic Forex and commodity broker. I can see that some of you have already started to test them out via the link I put below the video. There's also one in this video. And I've already gotten good responses from people, something like a good customer service, quick replies and so on. That's also my experience. I'll get back to them later. Let's first have a look at some of the actual trading today. First of all, I'm in two trades right now. I'm in the Euro Yen, a short, and I am in a, let me see, a dollar Swiss, also short. The reason why I'm showing them here and not in my broker account is that I'm using the trading view for all my analysis. I'm just using the brokerage to place the trades, and also I'm planning on, as I am with the option trading that is coming up on my other channel, Building Freedom, I'm planning to do a dedicated account with real money on to show you how I actually trade, control my risk and all that. Now, Euro Yen is the first trade I have live right now. I have had some other trades. I'll show you them in a second. But as you can see, if you saw my first video, you got some of my rationale behind taking trades. But on a daily chart that we see up to the in the upper left corner here, we can see that we are in a downtrend. We are meeting some former structure here, a bottom back here. We also have falling tops. I'm not drawing trend lines, not here in Forex actually. But as you can see, we came up, we met some resistance. Then I go into a 4-hour time frame here. And what I want to see is, I want to see a movement downwards so that it respects the resistance. Then I want to see one or two candles upwards, so we're getting a little retracement. As soon as I get that, I'm going down to 1 hour and 15 minutes time frames to see when I should place my trade. Now, as you can see here, we had this shoot up. It was respected the resistance, trying again, but with a lower high, so the sellers are getting in quicker and quicker. And when we broke down here, I knew it was time to take the trade. The question is, when should I put the trade on, and how should I put my stop loss, etc. Now, what I did is I took the trade here at 11:30-ish here. As you can see, it came up, it broke down, had a little retracement, broke down, broke all four more bottoms here. So I took the trade here, and pretty much the same second I did it, it started to go against me. I don't know if you know that feeling. So it started to go against me. Now, quite quickly, I could see that this was a kind of a resistance. I had put my stop up here. That was the most significant top. But I moved my stop down here, and had it continued up, I would have taken something like a 0.6, 0.7 R. And as you know, 1 R is the distance. Let me show you here. 1 R is 1 risk unit. Oh, like this. The risk I take here, if I'm risking 0.5% or 1% in of my capital here, this is 1 R. No matter what percentage I'm putting to it, but 1 R. If I am making the same distance profit as I am in risk or original risk, then I have made 1 R. So what I'm talking about here, if it had gone against me here and hit this one, I had made something like 0.6 or 0.7 R in minus, meaning that I had not lost the entire initial risk. I had only lost something like 60 or 70% of it. Now, as you can see right now, it is moving downwards, and I have no idea if it'll keep going down. We can see this during the video, or if it'll turn around and go up. But now that we have pretty much put our, or we have seen a significant new top here on the 15-minute chart, I am moving my stop loss down here. So you can see I'm down at about half the risk I took originally. So that is how I do that. I have already moved that stop loss on my broker account. It was just to show you that here. And you can see it is going down nicely. So let's just have it going down some more. Now, this was one trade, and I cannot say exactly how far it will go. I have just put this risk reward area on here because there is a significant area I should be aware of down here. But if it starts on a 15-minute time frames to make some higher tops here, I might take it off earlier. But right now, it's just about break even, maybe in a tiny profit. So that is fine enough. The other trade I have on right now is the dollar Swiss. Now, as you can see, it's pretty much the same picture, or even more actually. But let's just have a look at the rationale for getting into this trade. We have the daily time frame, and as you can see, it was moving down. I must admit, it's a bit more messy. We had a top, a bottom, a top, a bottom. So structure shows us that we are in a downtrend. Then we went all the way up to the former top here and actually almost broke it. Well, actually, we did break it if we are looking at the end of the daily candles here, but I'm looking at the end of these. I'm never drawing a specific or an exact line. I'm drawing an area. And this was just about it, and it started to turn down. Now, I actually think I was in a short trade on this day as well, but that is some days ago. What we're going to have a look at is the trade of today here. And as you can see, we have on the 4-hour time frame, we start to go down. We actually have several possibilities here through yesterday and tonight of going short. But today we had 1-2 candles green, and that I saw that as an opportunity to go short. Now on a daily time, on an hourly time frame here, as you can see, I took it. Let me see. I think I took it here. Yes, yeah, it gets a bit messy here, but I took it on this candle here, and at the same instance I took it, it also started to go in the opposite direction. If we're looking at the 15-minute time frames, I took it here and it went straight against me, and that was quite annoying. I was actually starting to find my Excel spreadsheet and note this down. I was getting ready to note it as a -1R because this was just going straight in the other direction. And some trades do that. There's nothing really to do about it. Now, what I'm going to do now, because it started to drop again, it had made a new top. So I have already in my broker chart moved my stop loss down here, and as you can see, it's a good example. Right now it is moving in the right direction, so no reason to stress. And even though it had gone straight up and given me -1R, I'll show you that it's not the end of the world. Now, I must admit that the second I took this trade, I actually regretted it. Now, why? Because let me have a look at the 4-hour time frame here. I was so focused on this bottom down here, because what I do want, I don't have a specific number saying that it should give me 2-to-1 or 4-to-1 or 1-to-1, but I was looking at this one and thinking to myself, well, if it should go down here to test, we can make something like a 3-to-4R without any problems. I completely missed this bottom here, and that just shows you that, yeah, in the moment you can easily miss details like this. So that actually means that the first area I'll be a bit worried about is moved significantly higher up. So it's actually only 0.8-to-1 here. It's not even 1-to-1 before I'll have to start to look for some potential resistance. So that annoyed me a bit, but the trade had been put on. But when it then started to go straight against me, I was really annoyed and banging my head in the table. But well, right now, several hours later, what's that, 3-4 hours later, it is finally starting to show a bit of profit. And again, I have minimized my risk down to about half an hour here. So that is how I'm working with that. I've already ended 5 trades today, and well, it's actually quite an active day today. As you can see, I have, let's just make a bit so you can see here, the Swiss yen. I took on all of these trades. I actually put them on as limit orders, and they were activated. I had a whole bunch of trades activated all of a sudden. I think it was down here 15:30 something. I was busy with the kid. I had just put the limit orders on, and they were triggered. This one went in the right direction, and then it went against me, and I took this one off. I can't even remember when it was, but somewhere around here. So that one was a loser. The euro CAD here, let me see, that one, it went the right direction. I got in here, it went the right direction. Then it starts to get really wobbly, and you can see all of these candle wicks down here, and I took it off here. Then of course I could say it went in the right direction, but then again it went straight against me, so I actually would have gotten out at the same area that I originally did. I'll show you stats of the day's trades a bit later. Euro New Zealand was the best trade of the day. Again, I took it up here. The same rationale. It met some resistance up here. I could see on the 4-hour time frame a breakdown, a couple of candles up. I was looking at the daily, at the hourly chart, and I could see now this was in the middle of the night. If I had been awoke, I could have taken it here, but it kept breaking the former low, so I took it here in the morning, and it went down, and I took it off in at the blue line here around 3.6, 3.4 R, something like that. The pound yen here, also a trade that went up very nicely up in the beginning, and I moved my stop up, and then it went straight against me, and I finished at, I think it was 0.2 R in the negative. And the dollar CAD also, let's just have a look at that one. That one went in, I think, 0.3 in the positive, something like that. I'll show you a stat about it here just in a second. Now, first of all, before I show you the stats of how well I've done today, here was an alert. We can just have a look at that. I'm putting my alerts in, so this is actually real time. So let's have a look at this one. You can see here that the pound, this one, I haven't taken it yet, so I might take it just live in this trade. As you can see here, the pound Swiss have gone up here, hit some resistance, gone straight through this area here, tried to get up, but is getting rejected on the lower side of this area here. On a 4-hour time frame, as you can see here, let's just shift to that one. Gone down, gone up, a couple of candles up, and now it is shooting down on a 1-hour time frame here. Let us just have a look. It is taking this one out. It is taking this candle out. It is actually showing some quite nice setup here on a 15-minute time frames or time frame. Well, when I'm finished with this video, if it keeps pushing down towards this one, it had taken down this bottom here, this bottom here. Of course, we can always find something that hasn't taken out. But I would say that comparing to a 4-hour time frame, let's just see here. It's not completely good, because there is this area here. So I'll probably wait a bit, because what I do like to see is if I get the push up, a retracement, I get these couple of 4-hour candles here, and then I get my short signal here. And I didn't get that today. It was simply too messy, and I couldn't really see any good sell signal here. But let's have a look at it at the end of the video. But funny enough that we should get an alert here in the middle of the video. Now, what I was about to say, before I show you the stats of the day, let's just again mention the NSB, NS broker here. Quite a good broker. It is, as I have mentioned before, a pure ECN broker, meaning that in many of these CFD brokers, they are what is called a B-book broker, meaning that you are actually trading against the broker. So when you're placing a trade, they are actually betting. They're not placing it in the market, they're just betting that you are wrong. So if you lose your money, they are the ones taking the money. And that's a well-known fact. That's just how it is. So you need to go for a pure ECN, meaning that your trade is actually placed out in the market and the broker is only making money on the spread. They are not making money on betting against you. That's an important fact. And also you need to check that they have the right licenses so you're not getting in any trouble. And as you know, if you've seen my videos before, NSB, our sponsor here, have all the right licenses from MiFID, from Spain, Italy, Germany, and also from Denmark, Finanstilsynet here. And yes, NSB, thank you very much for sponsoring these videos. It makes things a lot easier. So let's get back to the facts here. Let's get back to the Excel spreadsheet. Let me show you how I have been tracking some of these trades, and it is because some of you started to ask a lot about it. As you can see, I started tracking some a bit slower trades up here. I was not taking as many trades per day, but here I have been falling back to my old strategy, the one I know the best. And as you can see here, the 18th, 19th, 20th, 23rd, 24th, which is today, I've taken quite a lot of trades. Now, what I'm marking out here is how many how many times my risk I'm gaining or losing. So as you can see here, the 19th, I took a short Aussie yen, 1.5 R in profit on a short position here. I also lost 0.2, 0.3, 0.5, 0.4. So I am losing money sometimes, and often, not often, but sometimes several trades in a row. And that can actually be a bit discouraging here. 4 trades in a row, 1 R minus. It's not too often I'm taking -1 here. But as you can see, today, just to show you the results of today. Now, the 2 trades I have open right now are, of course, not in here. But as you can see, the result of today, all the trades of the day here, if I am adding them up here, I have made, like this, I have made 4.7 R. And since I'm risking about 0.5% of my capital on each of the trades, it's not like I have a huge account for this sort of trading, but I am risking 0.5% of the account. So that means that I have made somewhere around, what, 2.35% on my capital today. Now, of course, I have 2 trades more, so they can also lose me some money. What I'm doing then is that I'm counting how many trades have I taken in this month of August. Right now, I have taken 39 trades. 24 of them have been winners, 15 have been losers, meaning that I have a win percent of 61.5% right now. And altogether for the month, I have made 28.7 R, meaning that since I'm risking 0.5%, I have made something like just above 14% on this trading account this month. Most of the trades, many of the trades I have been putting on live, so you can see it's not just something I'm making up. Now up here, that's also some interesting stats to look at, is that all of the winners, if we are adding up all the profit, all the R profit from all the winners have given me 37.6 R. And if I have had no losers, that would have been my profit, 37.6 R. But of course, there have been losers. There always will. So I can see that all the losing trades added up have given me -8.9 R altogether. And that, of course, gives us the 28.7 here. Now, then I take the number of R's that I have from the winners and I divide it by the number of winners, which is 24. That gives me an average winner, meaning that the average winning trade I have had here in August have been 1.57 R. And the average loser I have had have been minus 0.59 R. So that means that my winners are actually about 2.5 times as large as my losing trades. Now, having a 61% success rate here, with winners about 2 or 2.5 times as large as my losers, that is a recipe for success in trading. you don't have to win every single trade. Now, just to be curious, let's just see how the trades are doing. The euro yen, yeah, just above break or below break even it is here. And what do we have here? This one has moved nicely into profit so far. So let's see where that takes us today. If you remember from one of my last videos in the Building Freedom channel, I mentioned this forexsignal.com. I'm not affiliated with them. They have a subscription service, I think, but that's not why I'm talking about them today. That is to show this Monte Carlo simulator. And you might know it, but what I have put in here is, let's say I had $3,000 or whatever currency on my initial balance here. Let's say I'm risking 0.5% per trade, and let's just put in the around 61% winning trades that I've had. Let's say I could keep doing that. That's not for sure I could do that, but let's just say I could keep the 61% win rate forever and ever over the next 10 years. That was a 61% win rate. Let's just say there's no break-even trades. And let's say that I can take 2 trades per day on average. That's 40 trades per month. Let's just, for the fun of it, go out 120 months here. And let's say, as you can see, my winners were 2.5 times my losers. But let's just say, let's just cut it down and say it was only 1.7 over time. And then simulate returns. Then this simulator, this Monte Carlo simulator, it takes and just say, all right, we just take trades on random and we do it a ton of times, and let's just see how the outcomes could be. And the outcomes, the red one here is the worst. If it did this for 10 years, random trades with 61% winners on average, and the numbers I put in, the red here is the worst case and the green here is the best case. And you should not pay attention to the numbers, because of course I would not end up with $22 billion. That is completely insane. There's taxes and there's everything. But it is just to show you, is this an okay strategy? Should you be satisfied with a 60% win rate and let's say 1.7 to 1 in your reward to risk? Let's just take the worst case, because that's normally what you'll meet out there. Now, if I'm risking 0.5% per trade, you can see that the max consecutive losses in a row I would have had was 10. I would also have had 14 winners in a row as the best results. My max drawdown would be 5%. Don't look at the result balance. Of course, I would not take $3,000 into $2 billion. That's insane. And even though, you can see here, even though I put a win rate of 61% in, this is taking random trades. So I actually only had a 57.9 win rate here. But as you can see, even in the worst case, with these sort of stats, you can see that I'm actually making decent profits. Now, will I be making 362% per year? Of course not. If I would do that, then in a couple of years, I would be more wealthy than Warren Buffett. This is just to get a statistical overview if this is a reasonable strategy to keep running with. Let's say, for instance, that this was the best case. This was the best running period. August was my best month ever, but I actually only had 50% win rate in most of my months, and I had 1.1 to 1 on my reward to risk. If I simulated the returns here, I would still end up with some profit probably. No, actually, worst case, I would end up with a loss. The best case would end up with a profit after 10 years here. But as you can see, this would, if that was my stats, if I had over than 3 or 5 or 6 months have made stats showing I'm winning 50% of the trades and my winners are 1.1 times my losers, then I could take a look at the stats and say, is this something I'm going to go with? Am I going glued to the screen all day long to day trade to make 10.1% per year here, 15.4 here, and minus 12.6 here? No, I'm probably not. But it's also showing that you don't have to tweak too much. Let's say we go up to the 60% here, but still 1.1 to 1. We are simulating returns here, and you can see that even the worst case is a lot better now. 8.3% in max drawdown, most months in the positive. Some reasonable results here. You still need quite a lot of money to be able to make a living here, but I hope I get the point through to you. So that's all for today. As you can see, one trade still a bit in the positive. One trade here, oh, it actually gone down nicely. It's just moving heavily down here. So let's just continue that now. And I have the one potential trade here. The pound Swiss is finding a bit of rejection here. If it turns around, breaks through this line again, I might just consider taking a short trade here. But I might also just take these two as the last two trades of the day, close them down in a couple of hours and call it a day from there. I hope this makes some sense. I hope you find some inspiration in these videos. It is, as I said, just a hobby project. So there's no fancy graphics. There might be an intro or something at some point. But don't expect this channel to be all fancy editing or anything. This is simply just to document how I trade. And as you can see, do it live. These trades could also have turned just straight against me and you would have been showing that as well. It is all a numbers game, so even if I showed you a video where I lost 8 trades in a row one day, well, that is what happens. Some really annoying days you lose 8 trades in a row and you can get a bit discouraged there, but it is all a numbers game. You have to look at the big picture. All right, take care of yourself and your money out there, and I'll try to make another video sometimes this week showing you some more results and some more live trading. So for now, bye.